Hello, good evening to one and all. Okay, so can we start the session? So I guess uh, people have joined the meeting, or do we need to wait for someone else, or can we start the session? Yes, maybe see less people. Is that fine? I can start it, or hello. So good evening to one and all. So yesterday we have went through the cloud computing concepts and what is meant by cloud computing and what are all the cloud services provided by the cloud computing and what are all the kinds of types of clouds present and what are all the types of cloud services that we are providing. Okay, so good morning, sir. Murthy, sir. Uh, yes, sir. Okay, so okay, so these are all the concepts which we have seen yesterday. Okay, so because those are all the basic cloud concepts which we need to check before going to the Azure cloud. Okay, so once we have seen the cloud concepts, then we can able to see the rest of the concepts, which is called why we are going for Azure. Okay, even I have given glimpse of why we goes for Azure and why we are choosing Azure as our cloud provider. So even those things also we have discussed that. Okay, and we have seen the slide. Okay, so and these numbers because most of the investment they are completely investing on research and development for security. So that's the reason most of the companies are running towards Azure. Okay, and there are 100 plus services in the building stage, and they will provide 100 plus services. You can deploy your own applications. You can create your even if you have a database in your local system, that database you can what you say like integrate with Azure cloud, Azure database, SQL database. Even you can do that. And if you are having huge amounts of data, you can place that amount of data in the data analytics Hdinsight, and you can process it. So multiple things. Okay, you can do n number of things with Azure cloud. Okay, so and if you take the thing like what I told you, right, 90% of the Fortune 500 companies are using Azure. The main reason is because of the security it is providing, and in the sense at least one service they are using from Azure. Okay, at least they made that may be a security, that may be even Azure Active Directory. Because if you take my present organization, right, so if you want to log into Databricks, right, it will be asking the authentication with Azure Active Directory. Okay, so if they will be giving you the access in Azure Active Directory. So once you get an access in Azure Directory, then you can able to access the Azure Databricks under the organization. Okay, so those are all the things which we can which we have seen yesterday. And we have seen, I already told you, like we can create a free account for Azure. Okay, and we can create a free account for Azure, and we can able to do all the demo kind of works in Azure. Okay, like it will be 12 months free. You will get 13,300 credits. Okay, you can create your virtual machines. You can you can launch web application in virtual machines. All those things you can able to do in Azure. Okay, so I will show you what are all the free services available in. If you get a Azure free account, right, even you can use artificial intelligence 12 free services till 1 year. Okay, so no need to learn any language and all. Just you need to know the what you say, what kind of technology. Just you need to know the basics of artificial intelligence or machine learning. It's just a drag and drop, the applications which they are providing, right? It's just a drag and drop, so that will help you to design your architectures. Okay, so these are all the things which we have seen, and I have already shown you the market wise how. If you take this particular figure, right, from 2016, you can see in 2016 you can see 35%. Okay, so 35% is Amazon. Okay, so mostly 35% of the companies are using Amazon in 2016. Okay, so 8%, you can see in 2016 only 8% of the companies are using Microsoft Azure, and 35% are using AWS. Okay, so in the sense it's a very huge what you say, that's why AWS is a huge cloud provider in 2016, and you can see rest of the cloud providers are occupying 52%. Okay, but if you take 2000 the current situation at 2019 or 20, you can see 47% is of the world is using AWS, and 22% they are using Microsoft. If you take the growth rate from 35 to 47, it's 12%. But if you take Microsoft Azure, 8% to 22%, it is 14%. Okay, so AWS is growing at the rate of 12%, whereas the growth rate of Azure is 14%. So that's the reason Azure is the fastest growing cloud provider currently in the world. Okay, so these are all the things which is currently shake means most of the market is going towards Azure. You can see these are all the, and the rest of the things you can see like okay, Alibaba and Google apps, okay, Google Cloud Platform, and others will contribute the rest of the percentage. Okay, so these are all the things which we have seen yesterday. So growth wise, Azure is top. Okay, clear everyone? Understood? So till this, I think we have seen yesterday, right? Just a moment. Okay, so is that fine, guys? But I think this is the most of the concepts which we have seen, and we will see the rest of the concepts today. Okay, so if you take what if you before going to what is Azure, okay, so we will see. Okay, so this growth rate and all we have seen, and what and all you can see. Okay. So, and what and all you can see, what and all you can do in Azure. Okay, that's what we use it to tell. So, what and all you do in Azure, I already told you we can do many things. Okay, the simple example, I think you can, I will just show here what and all we can do is this is what the Linux machine, okay, which I have, what you say, like, deployed in Azure. I have created a virtual machine with a Linux version in Azure environment. If you take this, okay, where is this Azure? Okay, you can see here I have created a virtual machine, and this is the virtual machine, okay, which I have created. Okay, this is the IP address. I will show you how to create a virtual machine in Azure, and how you can make that virtual machine as a web application. You can see here, just copy this IP address. Okay, now what I did, right, I have used Azure for creating the virtual machine, and what I did, right, I have made that particular virtual machine as a web application. How you can tell as a web application? Just copy this, and you can see here. Just paste here. Just keep enter. You can see. You can see my web application. This is my web application. Okay. So what I did, I have launched a virtual machine using Azure, and that virtual machine is a Linux-based virtual machine. And that Linux-based virtual machine, I have made it as a web application, and this is what I will show you step by step how to do that. Okay. Okay. So okay, So this is what all about how to, these are all the things which we can do while creating Azure. So these are all the example thing. Anyway, I will show you what are all the things. Okay. So for free, with if you are having a free account, you can ask me. Since I am having free account, right? What and all I can do with the free account. Okay. So the thing is, you can n number of things you can do by using free account. You can launch a virtual machine. That's what I did. What I did here, just what I did here is I have launched a virtual machine. This is my virtual machine. Okay. XLR JNT is my virtual machine. I have launched a virtual machine. Sorry, JNTK. This is my virtual machine, which I have launched. Okay. And I have launched this virtual machine in Azure. Guys, can I ask you one question? Where this virtual machine will be launched? I have launched this in Azure environment, right? Where that will be launched? Where that will be saved and where that will be hosted? Any guess? Yes, cloud. Cloud, it's okay, fine. Where it in cloud, where it will be? I am launching my virtual machine in Azure, right? Where that virtual machine will be launched? The particular term I told you, right, yesterday, the terminology. Where that will be launched? Exactly, sir. It's a data center. Okay, it's a data center. So everything will be available in data centers. So what you need to do, just give the name for the virtual machine which is there in the data center, and just use that. That's it. Okay, so this is what we can do using virtual machine. First thing, so you can do many things, out of which first thing you can create the virtual machine. Okay, so virtual machine is nothing but we are using infrastructure as a service. So creating a virtual machine comes under infrastructure as a service. Okay, so nothing, what they are doing here, they are providing the OS. Okay, they are providing the environment. Okay, now you can create your applications here. Okay, so you just see here, this is nothing but our Linux machine. Okay, this is like just you can give ls-lrt. What are all the files? Just you can create the file. Okay, ext. Okay, just to create it. Just okay. This is Megan working as senior tech lead in MBRTA. Okay, so this is like this, and just save it. Okay, that's it. What I did here in normal virtual machine, what I did, just same thing I'm doing here. Okay, now you can see. Okay, so what is this? This is the file which I have created, and I am seeing how many number of lines is there in this particular file. So I will be using this wc-l. So nothing but word count -l, which is nothing but it will give you number of lines in this particular file. Okay, so what are all the things which I can do with the Linux machine? I am doing in Azure environment. So what I did, I created a virtual machine. This is nothing but the virtual machine in Azure. I have created this in Azure. I'm using it. But if you don't have this, then it's a big thing. So what you need to do, you need to create, you need to take a OS, you need to download the particular environment, you need to have a OS into that. So it's a very big thing. Okay, because if you, but what Azure will do, it will create it, or it will have the default virtual machines in the data center. Just give the name and use it. That's it. Okay, so what is this? I have created my virtual machine and I am using this virtual machine. That's it. I didn't done anything. Just I logged into portal. I have created that. It's just 2 minutes of time. But if I need to create without Azure, then it will take huge amount of time. Okay, so this you can do it. This is one of the things which you can do with the free account. Suppose if you have a local database in your machine, you can migrate your data from local to SQL database which is present on the Azure. You can do that also. Okay, and second thing, we can create mobile services. We can create we have something called as Azure Cosmos DB, which is a NoSQL DB. You can see here, these are all the things which will be helpful for everyone. Okay, so you can see here, these are all the things. Okay, resource groups. Anyway, I will be explaining you all these services in the next sessions. Okay, you can see here Cosmos DB. Okay, you can see here Azure, which is the powerful NoSQL DB, guys. This is very powerful NoSQL DB. So you can create your Azure Cosmos DB account. Okay, so you can create all those things and you can use that NoSQL DB. I will explain you what is this NoSQL DB and all. Okay, so these are all the things which you can do using Azure free account. Okay, and third thing is, even you can create a cluster also. Even you can create a Hadoop cluster also with your free account. How you can do that? By using Hdinsight. Okay, you can see here Hdinsight clusters. Hdinsight clusters is purely based on your yarn application. Okay, so yarn is nothing but, I already told you, it's a similarly the Azure will create a Hdinsight cluster for you, similarly to the big data. You can do that. Even you can do that also. Okay, so these are all the things which you can do, and you can utilize 12 artificial intelligence free services for 12 months if you are having a free account. Okay, so all these things you can do it. Okay, and most of the companies are preferring Azure than AWS because of this lot of inbuilt tools. Which, and other thing is, if you have a .NET framework developers, then best thing option is you can learn Azure instead of AWS. Okay, why? Because it's a very good suitable for the most of the people who are Azure .NET developers. Okay, so I think this is just a basic insight what we are going to do. You can see here, right? Create a HD cluster to process massive amounts of data using popular open source frameworks such as Hadoop, Spark, Hive, Kafka, Storm, machine learning services, and more. Clear? So no need to have a Cloudera. If you have Azure, that is enough. It will do it. But the thing is, same thing, simple. You need to pay for it. Okay. So these are all the things which you can do if you are having an Azure free account. Okay. Till now, everything is clear, right? So just a moment, please. One moment, please. Okay, now we have seen till now why we are going for Azure, and what will happen if you have a free account, and what are all the services which you can utilize it using a free account. Now we will see what is meant by Azure. Okay, now we will see what is meant by Azure. Now what is an Azure? Simple, it's a cloud provider which is owned by the famous Microsoft, which provides its users a wide range of services through internet. Okay, so simple as that. What is an Azure? It's a cloud provider, and they named it was a cloud provider, and this was being owned by Microsoft, and they named that particular thing as Azure, and it provides users a wide range of services through internet. Okay, so what basically Microsoft Azure provides services which are running in their cloud infrastructure, and you can use them by paying money. That's it. Okay, so Microsoft is having data centers. In the data centers, all the services will be available through the internet. Just use it. Okay, suppose if I am in India, okay, so for India there will be a data center which is located to near India. Okay, simply I will show you an example how you can do that. So just go to here. Okay, so home, just let us assume I want to create a virtual machine. Okay, so just see, create virtual machine. Okay, create virtual machine. See, uh, just other than that. Okay, so just we'll see. Just I will create a resource group. I will tell you what is resource group. It's a resource which we can utilize it for any purpose. Okay, so just I will create a resource group. Just I will show you how it will be. So resource group nothing but Midun. Okay, okay. So now see, you can see here, guys, region. So you can see here. Okay, what are all the things you can see here? You can see here lots of countries. These are all the regions. Okay, you can see I told you, right, 54 regions are available for Microsoft Azure. Okay, so in that you can see there are some. Okay, if you see there are India wise, you have Central India. Okay, even you can have South India also. You have South India. Okay, you can see South India, right? So just click on South India. Okay, so just click on South India, and then what will happen? Whatever the resource which you are creating, that will go and create in the data center which is present in the South India. Okay, just create it. Just create. That's it. A resource will be created. That resource you can utilize that resource for any purposes. Okay, so you can see here within JNTK it has created. Okay, you can see here, you can see these are all the things. Okay, so overview. Okay, so and if you want to create a virtual machine, so what will be that virtual machine can utilize these resources. Okay, so now what will happen, why I am telling this, right? If you are using any service or any resource, that resource will be there nearby your data center. Okay, you can select your data center, you can have South India, you can have North India. Okay, so all those things you can have. Just a moment, guys. Okay. Sorry, my son has woken up, so sorry for that. Yeah. Okay, so this is what, so if you are creating a resource, okay, so that resource can be created in nearby data center, and you can utilize the data, you can utilize the resource which is created in the data center. So that's what we will, that's what the explanation for this. Like, Azure is a cloud provider which was owned by Microsoft, and which will provide users a wide range of services through internets. Okay, so this you can do it. Okay, so this is what about exactly meaning of Azure. So again, I'm telling you the concept of cloud computing is very simple. You just take the, you just give money and utilize the cloud services from the people who are running it in the data centers belonging to the particular service provider. Okay, so this is what about okay, Azure. What is meant by Azure? Okay, so I told you, right. So if you see, and if you want to have an example, a perfect example for this, so you like. Suppose you want to launch a service in Azure. Okay, so how you will do that? Just you will go to the Azure portal, and just you just click on the particular service and just click on the create. So what will happen? That service will be launched in the Azure environment. So it is that much very simple as that. Okay, so another one more thing, cloud is you can, there is a term called cloud, right? So it's not like hanging somewhere. Cloud means not hanging somewhere. It's a data center which is owned by Microsoft, which is there in the multiple location. Okay, and when you launch your virtual machine, or when you launch any service, okay, and what will happen? You are triggering the action in the data center. Okay, where they have those services running. Okay, clear everyone? Understood, right? So what is meant by Azure, and what Azure will do it. Okay, okay, so in Azure data centers, they will have their Azure virtual machines. Okay, like I told you, right, it's a very huge data center, it will be there. They have their virtual machines, they have all the servers, everything, and they have the SQL databases, all those. Okay, so what you need to do, just to provide the name for it and provide the configuration for it, and just you need to use that. Okay, how you will provide in the configuration means, just go to home. Okay, just go to home, just to give you what is that, what is meant by the configuration, just I'm telling you. Okay, just add it, add, just create a new virtual machine. Okay, so once you create a new virtual machine, you can go it here. Okay, so just give some name. Okay, any name you can give it. uh, okay, so this is, oh sorry, this is create new. Okay, just give k. Okay, so I have given this name. Okay, and virtual machine name, sorry, resource group. Sorry, resource group. I can give any one of the resource group which I created. Recently, I have created Midun underscore JNTK. Okay, this I will give. I will use that resource group. I will tell you what is meant by resource group in this class, and virtual machine. Just give Midun. Okay, okay, and you can see here region. Okay, region, but since it is a free subscription, all the regions will not support for free subscription. Then what is the region that will support for free subscription? It will go for Central India. Just to see Central India. Okay, click on the Central India. Okay, so and what is this redundancy? Redundancy means you are creating your virtual machine, right? So what will happen means if your virtual machine is not okay, if your particular virtual machine you will be creating in Central India. Suppose if any volcano or any something happened, what will happen? Your virtual machine will go down. So in that place, but this virtual, if you create, if you click on this redundant availability set, what will happen? This virtual machine will have one more replication in another region. So in India, if something happens, suppose if you create your virtual redundant server in US, if anything happens in India, US machine will comes into the picture and the data availability will be there. That is called redundancy. Okay, so this is what you can do it. So you can see here, this is the configuration. Okay, 0.5 GB of memory. Okay, and cores, all those things you can get it. These are all the configurations. Okay, which you can choose it. Okay, all those things. Okay, so these are all the things, and I will show you. Okay, just for configuration purpose, I am showing you this, and this is all I will tell you how to log into that, and I will show you step by step so that you can get an understanding of it. Okay. Okay, so this is what. So this is what about Azure and what we can do it in Azure. Okay, so just a moment. No, no, it's costly, sir. It's a redundant server is not free of cost. Okay, it's very costly. So suppose if I am in my company, we are using Azure, right? So we will have redundant server. Normally, ours mostly will be there in India, but we will have our redundant servers in Germany. Okay, so if any case in problems comes in India, then German server will comes into the picture. Okay, sir. Just this moment, sir. Just give me 2 minutes. Sorry for it. Okay, so Sorry for it. Okay, so that's the reason we are going for clouds. Okay, so and if you take this slide, I can show you there are 54 regions worldwide. Okay, so and what is this regions means? In these regions we will have our data centers, Azure data centers, in the sense Microsoft data centers, that will spread across 140 countries. Okay, that will spread across 140 countries. You can see here, if you take India, okay, if you have Central India, you have Western India, you have South India. So in these three places we will have our data centers. Okay, so the thing is, whatever, suppose, see, now I have created my virtual machine, right? That will be created in Central India, because my free subscriptions only will be created in Central India. But if you are a not a free account, if you are having a pay as you go account, right, then your virtual machine can be created in South India. Okay, which is nearer location, it will be created there. Okay, but you can, at that particular point of time, while creating the virtual machine, you can choose the redundant server. So that redundant server, what it will be done, it will be placed in some other nearby location. Okay, so in case not in the same geography, it will be in the some other geography. So in case if any volcano or earthquake comes, right, what will happen means, this particular machine VM will go down, but other VM will comes into the picture, and it will act as the backup server for it. Okay, so the thing is, why we are having the redundant server, because of availability. We have availability of data. Yeah, at any point of time, your data, the user must not have issues in retrieving the data. So in that point of time, they will maintain the redundant servers, and as you know, the redundant servers will be always costly. Okay, and suppose you can see here your regions, they are available in USA, they are available in USA, they are available in Canada, they are available in Africa, they are available in India, Asia, Australia, everywhere it will be available. Okay, so what this make the company better? Okay, so the thing is, data centers is there in almost every part of the world. Okay, so if you are using Azure, you have service. Let's take, you are using Azure and you have services running on one particular data center, and your company is American based, you have a company and that company is American based, and you are, and all you are using Azure services you are using. Okay, but the thing is, the particular work rate which you are getting, the request, you are getting lots of requests from India. Okay, you are in America, but your company is American based and it is running all, it is taking help of all the services which is present in the data center which is near to US, but you are getting lots of requests from India. Suppose out of 1,000 requests every day, almost 500 to 600 requests are coming from India. So now what you want to do, you thought of expecting, you thought like, okay, see, we are getting lots of business from India, right? So can we expand our business in India? That was your, you got an idea. So you want to expand your business in India. Okay, now what you need to do for that, you need to take a place in India, you need to rent that particular place, you need to keep your servers, you need to configure them, you need to hire the people, you need to maintain them, and you need to make the business better. But all this involves lots of money. Okay, and lots of time taking process. Okay, because infrastructure, keeping an infrastructure is very difficult. Okay, so now how you can do that? Okay, but if you use Azure, then it's a matter of clicks. Okay, you have something called as web services. Okay, web app services which is available in Azure, so it can create the infrastructure in another geography within a matter of clicks. Okay, so no need to spend huge amount of expenditure, it's very beneficial, and your infrastructure will be created in the data center which is nearer to India, so that even you can run your business there in India also. Okay, so these are all the things which we can do it using Azure. Okay, so that's the reason, if we tell like, see, they may be asking you like, why we are going for Azure, you can, because some people will tell some answers. If a person answered like, there are 54 regions in the worldwide, and one, it is spread across 144 countries, that's the reason we are going for Azure. But they may ask you the question, so okay, that's fine, then why, in what way that helps the company? So you can tell this. Okay, so you can expand your business in different geographies using web app services. Okay, that's how it will be helpful to expand their business using web app services. Okay, anyway, I will explain you what is that services and all. Okay, so clear till this, everyone, why, what is Azure, what is meant by Azure, and what is this data centers? Okay, So all those things you will be understanding. Okay, and if you take the Azure services, okay. No, Swati, it's not like that. Okay, there is a concept. Okay, like the question which you asked is good question. Okay, so there is a concept in this Azure. Okay, we have something called as a CDN networking, something like that. So what we will do, right? See, you are. Let us assume you have a website. Okay, and what you are doing it in it's a India based website. Okay, so the people who are accessing from India, they will get the output from India server, right? But if a person who is accessing from America, okay, suppose if a person is in America and he is accessing your website that is placed in India, so what will happen? The data which is present in that, first it will come to the American server, then only you can able to see the, you can able to read the data from India. It has to transfer to American server, then from that you can able to get the data, which will have a time gap. There will be some time gap. Okay, so because the thing is the data retrieval will be, the data speed will be less. In that case, you have something called as, here you can see, Swati, CDN. In the screen you can see CDN. So what this means in that particular kind of situations, what they will do now, you have a in India, I might have my website. You are there in somewhere around Africa, something like that. Okay, but in that Africa you don't have a data center. Then what it will happen means, now you try to accessing some video from this website, from suppose from a particular website called ABC. You are accessing a video, and that ABC website is present in India, and you are accessing it from China or something where you don't have a data center. So what will happen means, first when you try to access that, that particular video will be transferred to the nearby data center to China. China don't have data center, but nearby China there will be some geography where you will have the data center. So what will happen? This particular video will goes to that particular data center. Suppose let us assume near China any other data center is there. It will go to the data center, and from there your particular video will get downloaded to the nearby data center, and you can stream that particular video. Okay, but what is the use of it? Suppose another person who tried to access the same video. Okay, now what will happen, right? The video which was streamed before you, right? What will happen? There is a video in India website, so you try to access the video. So what will happen? That video has been moved to the nearby data center, and from that nearby data center the video got downloaded. So next time what will happen, right? The second person who is trying to access the same video, the data, the particular request won't go to India. It will go to the nearby data center where the video is downloaded. From that itself, you can able to watch that video. Okay, so that in that case, the time span will be reduced. Got it, Swati? I think it's a yes, sir. If the connection is through satellite, it will be no delay. But what they will be using, that through the networks, they will pass this information to the nearby data centers, and they are doing the delay, sir. They are downloading it, and they are able to watch that. Okay, so these are all maybe I think those are all the next. There are some other services, okay, which is related to GPS services. Maybe that particular services may help to reduce this delay. Because the particular services which you are having, right, they are doing through CDN, sir. Okay, it's a content delivery network. Anyway, we will see the remaining things also. You will get to know. Is that answered your question, right, Swati? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so these are all the services you can see, okay, which can able to. Yes, sir. Some companies lease that, but it's very costly, sir. I think most of the companies, right? Maybe some companies which are affordable, and they can use that satellite link and able to view that particular data very fast. But most of the companies are not using those things because that is very costly, sir. Yeah, big companies. I'm not, because only I had some 2 3 companies which are top 10 multinational companies. In that only top 10 Fortune 500 companies, they are using that satellite through satellite links. They are able to getting the data. They can do that, but rest of the companies are not using that because of high expenditure involved in that. But maybe I did it came across most of the particular topics related to the satellite link. Only I heard some 2 3 companies are using that. Okay, instead in that, right, I think my company MBRDI is using. Okay, and another company is there. I guess it's Google. The Google is the one which is using the satellite, through satellite links they are using it. Okay. So this is what, guys, about how the regions, what is the importance of having a number of regions. Okay. Is that answer, is I answered your question, sir? If anyway, I will explore more on that, this satellite link usage of data, sir, because mostly companies won't prefer that. Okay, but anyway, I will explore that, and I will try to get more information on it. Yeah. Okay, sir. Okay, so if you take the Azure services, there are more number of services, okay, which we are having. Okay, so like you can say there are compute services, there are web and mobile services, developer services, analytic services, integration, media. Okay, entire media is using this CDN, media and CDN services. You can use hybrid operations, infrastructure services. You can see n number of services which Azure is offering to everyone. Okay, so out of this, mostly companies will use security and management services, okay, and developer services, and this thing analysis, this particular services also they will use that. Okay, so these are all the things which they can use. Okay, so I think we will be seeing most of the things. Okay, anyway, even we can use, even if there are something services which is related to machine learning. Okay, you can use machine learning algorithms which is more powerful, and you have something called as data factory, which is the place you can put the data, and it is like a data lake where you can store any kind of unstructured data. All the big data, all the big data analytics you can do using data factory. Okay, if you want to handle huge amounts of data, then what is the other thing? You need to create a cluster. Okay, you need to create a cluster, you need to take it take lots of time, but in Azure it's very easy. They will provide a real-time environment, like instantly you can create the clusters, and you can create, you can put your data onto the data lake, and you can process your data using the analytical tools like Spark, Hive, anything you can use it. Okay, this is what we are doing in my project currently. Okay, so you can take the help of Azure, anything you can do using Azure. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Okay, and we will see, anyway, we will see what is media and CDN, what is compute services, what is web apps. Okay, and you can see what is Visual Studios, what is SDKs, what is SQL database. Okay, what is this? Okay, so this particular tables. Okay, what is this SQL warehouse? Everything I will explain you in the coming classes. We can have a clear understanding on those services. Okay, lots of services. Okay, lots of services, and we will see what is this regions, region pairs, availability zones, availability sets, main thing, resource groups, and Azure Resource Manager. These two are the most important things. Okay, which it will comes into picture. And what is a region? Okay, region is nothing but it's a simply a location, a geographical location, which in terms of Azure is nothing but a data center. Region is nothing but a data center. Simply, you can term like in Azure is a data center. Okay, so in different parts of geography, Microsoft has its data centers. So how the services are deployed? So in the data centers, they will deploy the services. That's it. Okay, and what is the regions? Region pairs, all those things means for a specific region, Microsoft will have 3 data centers, and the data center is technically known as availability zone. Okay, and a group of availability zones is called as availability sets. Okay, so nothing but for a specific region. If you take here, you can see here, if you see here India, you can see there are 3 data centers, right? So mostly they have their terminology, like where they are getting the more business, there they will maintain a 3 data centers. Okay, or more than that. Okay, so those data centers can be technically called as availability zone, and a group of availability zones are called as availability sets. Okay, understood everyone? You can see there are three, you can, it is clearly it is a 3 data centers. Okay, you can see here also you can see there are 3 or 4 data centers. Okay, and the thing is, this region can be anything. It can be in India, it can be in Australia. Okay, anything you can have. Okay, so and one more thing, these regions are flexible and scalable. Let us see, there is an organization and they are expanding their business across the globe, and they are working in one specific country, and they want to expand in other parts of the globe. Okay, so let us assume they have some web applications, and it has to be available in other part of US. So for better experience, we can't have data center in every part of the world. So the thing is, you can choose, you can deploy your services in the data centers as per your need. Even if a particular region don't have a data center, that service will be deployed to the nearby data center. Even if it is not there in India, it will be nearby India. Maybe it will be here or it will be not. It depends upon the uh, distance, satellite, GPS, everything they will come into account. They will think which is the nearby to this particular place, that particular region, that particular data center. They will be having their data virtual machines created in that particular data center. Okay, so this is all about regions. Okay, so what is meant by availability zone, availability sets, and I will show, and we will discuss the rest of the concepts also. Okay, so I will tell you, geographies is geographies. You are able to know what is geographies. Geographies is nothing but different parts of geographies, right? So that is special Azure regions. I will tell you what is meant by special Azure regions in the coming classes. Okay, and availability zones is nothing but the data center is called availability zone and the group is called as availability set, and resource groups and all I will explain you today. Okay, till this everyone clear, right? I hope if you have any doubts, please let me know. Okay. Okay, so thank you. So now we will see the Azure core architecture. Okay, so what is meant by Azure core architecture? Okay, guys, in how many ways we can access Azure resources? Okay, in how many ways we can access the Azure resources? We can access the Azure resources in 4 ways. What is the first way? Through Azure portal. What is Azure portal? This is Azure portal. So through this directly we can able to access your Azure resources. Okay, and what is another way? Azure PowerShell. Okay, see, if you are using a Windows machine, you can have what you know what is meant by PowerShell. So, and something about Azure portal. If anyone asks you what is an Azure portal, is nothing but, guys, do you know what is meant by GUI? GUI. Okay, GUI. Any, or you know any, what is the abbreviation of GUI? Yes, exactly. Good. Okay, it's a graphical user interface. So the Azure portal is nothing but graphical user interface website that is provided by Azure. Okay, you can go to azure.com and you can deploy any kind of resource you want. Okay, and you can manage those resources and you can control that resources from that interface. Clear, everyone? Okay, so that is called as yeah, it's a graphical user interface. Okay, so in even you have something called as, for everything you have graphical user interface, and you can, in big data they will be asking, Hive is a framework. What is the GUI of Hive? It is Hue. HUE. Okay, Hue is the graphical user interface of, okay, Hive, like that. Okay, so these are all the things. Okay, you need to know the what are all the graphical user interfaces of all those. So what is the graphical user interface of Azure? It's Azure portal. Okay, and this is one way for accessing Azure resources. And what is the another way? Azure PowerShell. Okay, Azure PowerShell is the another way to access the Azure resources. Okay, and we have Azure command line interface and we have REST clients. Okay, so these are all the different kinds of resources through which you can able to access the Azure resources. Okay, just a moment, guys. I will drink water on top. Just a moment. Okay, so sorry. So these are all the four resources. Okay, so what are all the resources? First one is Azure portal. Okay, and the second one is Azure PowerShell. Okay, and the third one is nothing but Azure command line interface. Okay, so these are all the things. Okay, which you can able to use it for accessing the Azure resources. Okay, so what is Azure PowerShell? Okay, so what is meant by Azure PowerShell? So I think most of the people might have known it. Suppose if you are using the Azure PowerShell, right? In the sense, if you are using a Windows system, the thing is you need to go for Azure PowerShell. Okay. So what is that Azure PowerShell? It's a kind of a command line interface which OS the Microsoft will be providing to you. Okay. Yeah, it's not Putty. Yeah, you can access that to Putty also. Putty is different thing. I will show you that. Okay. I will be showing you what is that and all. Okay. So this is the second thing, and the third thing is nothing but command line interface. Okay, so what is that command line interface? So suppose, see, I think most of the people might have heard about DOS, right? I think most of the people might have heard about DOS because that is the basic version. Okay, so the thing is, what is a DOS? Okay, so DOS is the nothing but it's a kind of before commands, everything it will be there. It's a kind of OS version where it will have separate commands for accessing the data. So if suppose if you are very good with OS and if you want to utilize the usage of Azure, right? In that case also, disk operating system, exactly, it's a command prompt. Okay, so in that case also you can utilize this particular Azure. Even you can connect through Azure command interface, which is nothing but okay. So just a moment, which is nothing but a command line interface. So it is completely based on DOS commands. Okay, so you using those DOS commands, you can able to access the Azure resources. Okay, that is also one kind of thing which was provided by Azure. Okay, so and next one is REST clients. Okay, what is the REST clients? Okay, these are all the APIs which are included in the web applications. In the sense, okay, you can create your own applications and you have linked that application to your Azure account and you are making that website to control your resources. Simply you can create your application in Azure through REST APIs. That is called as REST clients. Okay, so these are, and once you create it, you can able to manage it through this. Okay, you can able to manage through this. Okay, okay, I think any doubts, anyone is having any doubts? Guys, clear? Anyone, any doubts? Right? No, no, just a moment. Okay, Azure PowerShell again. Okay, yeah, I will explain you what is the 33. Okay, sure, I will explain that. Okay. So nothing. What is an Azure PowerShell is nothing but, see, if you are having a Windows system, you will be getting a command line interface in the form of PowerShell. Okay, so you can get that. Okay, so what is that? What is that means? I will just show you. Okay, how the PowerShell looks like. Okay, just a moment. Uh, just a moment. I will just show you. Just a moment. Okay, so I will just show you. Okay, just a moment. PowerShell. You can see here Windows PowerShell. Just click on this. Okay, so you will, it's like this. Okay, it is like a command line interface. Okay, so just take you. So what will happen, right? So the thing is like, you can use this Windows PowerShell. Okay, just see. Okay, you can if you have Windows PowerShell, even you can use this Windows PowerShell to access the Azure resources. But in order to do in order to do that, you need some softwares to be installed in your machine. Okay, so I told you, right, instead of accessing through portal, okay, instead of accessing to portal, even this font. Is this fine, sir? Okay, because I can't increase it. So, okay, so this is nothing but a Windows PowerShell, which if you go to your Windows machine and just give PowerShell, you will get this command line interface. Okay, so this command line interface. So if you have some Azure specified softwares will be available. So once you download that Azure specified softwares, what will happen means this Windows PowerShell will get integrated to the Azure, and you can utilize that Azure resources through this PowerShell. Even you can do that, but mostly we won't do that. Mostly we will utilize it in the form of this particular Azure portal. Okay, portal.azure.com. Okay, this is one. And what is meant by REST APIs means these are REST clients. Okay, these are this is the one. Okay, just a moment. Yeah, what is this REST clients means? Okay, so these are APIs which are included in the web applications through which you can use your Azure account. Okay, you can create your own applications, and you have linked that application to your Azure account, and you can make that particular application as a website. Okay, and in order to do that, you can make the use of REST APIs. Okay, REST APIs. Yeah, REST PowerShell and command line is, sir. Command line is purely based on DOS commands. Okay, DOS commands, sir. Okay, and other thing is for the command line interface, which is purely based on DOS, we have separate kind of plugins and software available to integrate with Azure. And for PowerShell, in order to use PowerShell for accessing the Azure, you have some different plugins and softwares available. It's like simply nothing but because some people mostly they are good with DOS commands. Okay, so for that people they have introduced a particular interface to link with Azure. Okay, so that is nothing but command line interface. Yeah, mobile applications you can create. Yeah, you can do that, Fatima. You can do that. Even you can create your mobile application and you can connect it to the Azure VM. You can do that. Okay. So is that clear, sir? My answer. Difference between PowerShell and command line interface. Yes. Okay. So this is what about. These are all the different. No, not a problem, sir. Okay. So these are all the four ways of accessing the Azure resources. And what is Azure? And all these four components will interact with Azure resources through a mediator, and that mediator is called Azure Resource Manager, ARM. Okay. Azure Resource Manager. So through the Azure Resource Manager only, these particular external agents will be accessing the Azure services. Okay, so Azure Resource Manager plays a very important role. And what that main important role here? Authentication. Okay, so what is meant by authentication? Any idea? Okay, what is that? Any idea? Authentication? Any other answer? Exactly. Allowing authorized users only, good one. Right to access the resources, exactly. Permissions, identifying the users. Okay, so these are all the things called authentication. So what resource manager plays the major role means it helps to check the authentication. Okay, it will check whether a user is having a Microsoft Azure account, and it will check whether that particular user is having the necessary permission to do the certain task which he is trying to do with the application. Suppose you have a Azure account and you are having the option of creating multiple users in the same account. Okay, so then so that multiple people can work on your Azure account. Let us see, you have a startup company, you have hired a company, you have a manager. Okay, and that manager is having the admin access of the Azure account, and he has recruited some developers. Okay, so and he want the developers only work on Azure storage. Okay, so he want to work you want to make sure that developers are working on the Azure storage. You want to make sure that particular developer access the Azure storage. Okay, my particular developer access the Azure storage, but that manager don't want developers to access Azure virtual machines or any kind of Azure resource, Azure services. Okay, in case you can create the user in your Azure account, you can create multiple. You have an Azure account, so you can give access to that user, and you can define some permissions to that user, what he needs to do and what he must not do. Okay, so what will happen? So what is the use of this means, let's say technical manager has signed into Azure portal. He wants to deploy a virtual machine. He can do. Why? Because he is having the admin access. He can do anything. Since he is the admin, he can do anything. But now developer want to deploy a virtual machine. Then what will happen? Request will go to the resource manager. Okay, so request will go to the resource manager. Now resource manager will check the permission. Okay, and resource manager will check the permission, and the resource manager comes to know that guy don't have access to deploy virtual machine. He is having only access only Azure storage. So what will happen? The authentication will be failed. So hence this is the reason which we need to use the Azure resource manager as a mediator. Okay, so what will happen when you connect to the website to the Azure account? You will get the key and secret access key. Okay, so nothing but the front end, middleware, and services in the Azure core. Okay, so simply what Azure resource manager will do means, whatever request it is coming, it will check whether this is a valid user, whether this user is having the permission to access the particular service. Okay, so all the authentication will take care of Azure resource manager in the form of Azure Active Directory, which we will see it in the next part. Okay, which we will see it in the next slides. Coming slides, we have something. Okay, so guys, this particular slide, everyone is clear. What, in how many ways we can access the Azure services, and what is the use of Azure Resource Manager, and why it is helping for authentication. Okay, so clear, everyone understood? This particular slide is very important. That's why I'm asking again and again. Okay, clear, right? Okay. Okay, so and now we will go to the next slide. Okay, just a moment. Okay, now Azure architecture can be divided into three components. What are all the three components? Front end. What is the front end? Which we have seen right now. Okay, what is the front end? Azure portal, Azure PowerShell, Azure command line interface, and REST clients. Those are all the front end. You can see. And what is the middleware? Guys, any idea what is meant by middleware? What is the middleware? Just now we discussed it, right? What is it? Yes, exactly. It's a resource manager. So resource manager acts as a middleware, and front end it is nothing but the Azure portal, command line interface, PowerShell, and APIs. Okay. Yes, sir. It's a resource manager. Okay. And what are all the services? N number of services. You can have lots of services. Nothing like you have machine learning services. You have okay. So this particular big data services, you have compute services, you have networking services. Yeah, all the services will come under this service. So it is divided into three parts: front end, middleware, and services. Okay, so just to see, this is what the slide. Okay, I was trying to show you. Okay, and this is what Azure portal. Okay, so Azure portal is the GUI dashboard provided to us by Azure, through which we can deploy or provision the resources. Okay, it's a kind of dashboard which you will have all the things. Okay, which you have all the things which is available. Okay, so it is looks like this, guys. Okay, it looks like this. It looks like this. Okay, you can see the dashboard and see what it is. Okay, okay, so this is what the dashboard. Okay, so dashboard looks like. Okay, so this is what the dashboard which will be giving, and this is nothing but the Azure portal. Okay, you can have all the services. You can have app services, functional app services, Azure Cosmos DB, load balancers. You can create storage accounts. You can create Azure Active Directories. Everything will be possible with the help of Azure portal. Okay, this is nothing but the GUI. Okay, this is how the GUI looks like. Okay, this is how the GUI looks like. And what is that? This is the first way of accessing the Azure services. And this is nothing but the PowerShell. You can see this is the PowerShell. Okay, this is the PowerShell. Okay, this is how the PowerShell looks like. So it is nothing but it's a command line access which a Windows system will use. You need to have a specified software installed in your machine which will integrate your PowerShell with Azure. So through these commands, you can able to utilize the Azure resources. Okay, this is one thing. Second way of accessing the Azure resources. And third thing, nothing but command line interface. Okay, so you can see here command line interface. Okay, so it's nothing but DOS. Through DOS, okay, if you have DOS, okay, this machine in your hand, even you can use that for accessing your Azure. You can see here creating storage account. You can see Azure storage account, create infinity group. So these are all the commands you need to give for creating the Azure storage account. Okay. So this is also one way of accessing the Azure resources, and we can access the Azure resources through command and interface through DOS commands. And this is through PowerShell. It is nothing but Microsoft. Okay. So and nothing but nesting is nothing but REST APIs. So REST clients. So REST clients are nothing but APIs which can be used in applications cloud to initiate an action on Azure cloud. So simply we are using, okay, so Azure API services. Okay, so if you take Azure, right, in DOS you can use Azure command line. So nothing but simply why we are having two things means Azure command line interface commands which uses DOS commands are different from PowerShell commands. Okay, so if you are good at DOS commands than shell commands, then go for CLI. You can install, but you need to install required libraries. Okay, so that will be useful for you in order to access the Azure resources through DOS. Okay, so and the next thing, REST command, which I already told you. So this is here we will use completely REST API services to create the applications and to control and to can access the applications. Okay, to access the services in the Azure, you will use REST APIs. Okay, this is also one way of handling the Azure resources. Okay, one way of accessing the Azure resources. Okay, and now this is what about Azure Resource Manager. Okay, so what is this? Azure Resource Manager will help in grouping the resources together. Okay, suppose let us see, I will tell you what is meant by the resource group. Okay, so we will see what is resource manager and we will go to the resource group. Okay, guys, anyone any doubts till now? Any clear everyone? Okay, so yeah, thank you. Okay, so we will see what is meant by Azure Resource Manager. So I told you Azure Resource Manager acts as a middleware between the external agent and the Azure resources. Okay, so let us assume I am launching a web application and I am also launching Android backend service. So in order to launch the web application, we need separate storage to launch that, and I can create a storage account for that, and I can create web app for that. Okay, so once you are launching a particular application, right, you need to create a group of services. Those group of services will help you in launching the particular application. Okay, in order to launch a particular application you need a group of services. Okay, those group of services, yeah. uh, what is that, sir? I didn't understand. Is important. Yeah, Satyamurthy sir, any didn't understand that. Any, yeah, resource manager. Yeah, resource manager is very important. Okay, why? Because it acts as a middleware and it is acting as the services between, acting as a mediator between the external agent and the Azure services. Okay, so the thing is, what resource manager will do means it will group the resources. Okay, so in order to create a one application, it is not possible with a single resource. You need to group multiple resources. So who will take care of that means resource manager will take care of that. Okay, and one more thing, what resource manager will do, it will two things it will do. One thing, it will group the resources which is required for creating the application, and next thing is it will check whether a permission, whether a particular user is having a permission, and based on the permission access he can able to utilize the resources which is present in the Azure. Okay, so authentication it will help you, and organizing your resources into one group also, this particular resource manager comes into picture. Okay, so and one more thing, it helps you to deploy, manage and monitor all the resources for your application as a group rather than handling individually. So in a group it will group it will group the same resources and it will monitor it. It will group the resources and it will create your application, and at the same time it will authenticate, it will just check whether a particular user is having all the authentications required for accessing a particular service. Clear everyone what is meant by Azure Resource Manager? Okay, it's just a mediator and what are all the services it is doing. I hope it is clear to everyone. Yeah. Clear, right? Got it, everyone? Okay. Now the next thing is nothing but the resource group. Okay. What is the resource group? What is the resource group? You can see VM is a resource, web application is a resource, SQL database is a result. If you group all these things, that will become the resource group. Clear? Understood? So what is the resource? A resource means the person who will do the work or something. We will call it as a resource. I want a Hadoop resource. I want machine learning profile. I want a SQL resource. All those things. What is the resource? The one who does the job, right, for you. So that is a resource. So what is the resource group? Okay. So resource group is nothing but, okay, you can see here, in the particular what you say slide, you have three resources. This is virtual machine, this is web application, this is SQL database. Okay, so and if you club these three services into together under a particular group, under a particular name, that is called as the resource group. That's it. You can create a resource group. Okay, you can create it. I will show you how we can create the resource groups and all. We will see that. Okay. So whatever, so suppose if you launch a virtual machine, that can be termed as a resource. If you launch a web app, that will be termed as a resource. If you have created a database, that can be termed as a resource. So when you group one or more resources together for a particular work, that basically can be called as the resource group. Okay, and you can make all the above three resources into a resource group, and you can make them as a production environment, test environment. Anything you can do it. Okay, anything you can do it. Clear, everyone? What is the resource group? This is very important, guys, mainly for the people who are attending the interviews in Azure. This is a must and should thing. Okay, so what is the resource? The grouping of resources is nothing but the resource. Clear, everyone? Okay, so this is nothing but the resource group. Okay, and next thing is nothing but, just a moment, core Azure services domains. Okay, so these are all the domains, guys, which we are going to see in the future classes. Okay, so compute domain, networking domain, file storage domain, database plus analytics domain, artificial intelligence plus machine learning, identity management. Out of this, real-time environment will use mostly file storage, database plus analytics, and artificial intelligence and machine learning. And admins will use this identity and management. Okay, and networking people will use this both services. These are all the domain names, guys. Okay, these are all the domain names. Under each domain, you will have different services. Okay, under each domain, you will have different services. Okay, and we will see each and every domain. And one more thing, guys. Okay, so if you are starting your career in an organization as an Azure engineer, you will be working in any one of the domains, but no Azure engineer will be there who knows all the domains. Okay, he knows only basic services. What are all the basic services provided, he can able to know that, but no one will be having the complete information of all these domains. Why? Because hundreds of services will be there in each domain, so which is not possible for a particular person to know all these things. Okay, even if you go for an interview, they won't expect you to learn all this, but you need to know what are all the domains, okay, available. Clear, everyone? Okay, so and clear, right, till this? I hope that is clear. Okay. Okay, so now we will see what is a compute domain. So compute domain will have compute intensive resources. Okay, I will tell you what is compute intensive resources and what network it will provide all the services with networking ability. So whatever the virtual machine you create, it will be there in the virtual network. So that networking things and all will be taken care by networking domain. And what is the file storage? Related to storage. If you want to store any kind of data, Azure data lake will comes under this storage. Okay, so you can store all the amount of structured, unstructured files here. You can do all those things. Everything you can do it here. You can storage blob objects. You can store image processing files. Everything you can do in file storage. Okay, and the next thing, which is mostly for big data people, database plus analytics. We have a services related to database and analytics, which is mainly used for processing the huge amounts of data. You can process the, you can store the test data, and you can process the data, and you can analyze the data using graphs, using flowcharts, and you can do that using Azure domain database plus analytics. Okay, using this you can take, you can put the, you can take the data from the storage, and you can process the data, and you can analyze the data using graphs. Anything you can do. Yes, sir. Exactly. Data lake comes here. Yeah. Okay. So this is what about data place plus analytics means. It will comes under this domain, sir. Okay. It will comes under this domain. Anyway, we will see that, sir. Azure data lake will comes under this domain where we will keep the data, and we will take the data, and we will process the data. Okay, that I will tell you. Anyway, I will show you, because each and every domain will have different services. Okay, we will see that, sir. If you see here, I think next slide. Okay, there are some number of slides. Compute. Okay, these are the services. Networking. Stay open. If you take here, sir, here it's a storage. You can have blob storage, file storage, queue storage, data lake storage. Okay, so data lake storage comes under the storage. Okay, and data box will comes under it, and under Azure database you have these services: SQL database, Cosmos DB, data factory, all those things. Okay, but data lake comes under this storage, sir. It will in analytics we have something called as data analytics tool, and data factory will comes under the database plus analytics. Anyway, I will be explaining you all these services one by one here. Data lake comes under the storage, where we will have the data will be present in the in their parental format. Yeah, we'll see it one by one. Okay, so database analytics plays a very important role mainly for big data people. Okay, and file storage, how we are storing the data. Okay, that is nothing but the data, because mainly we will use Azure data lake, and this comes under the storage. Okay, so this will comes under here, and we have artificial intelligence plus machine learning. Okay, algorithms, where is a very important domain if you choose your path in data science. If you're choosing your path in data science, then it will be very important domain. Why? Because no need to not, if you want to have your career in machine learning, you need to learn like Python, you need to learn R, you need to learn all those languages. Even if you don't know the languages, if you know the basics of machine learning, you can use these services, because here there is no coding, only drag and drop. Just take the particular service, drag and drop, and create your machine learning model. Okay, and what are all the services you are using? Just pay for it. Okay, so in particular machine learning you have something called as a regression testing. It's a normally, if you want to do the regression testing, it's a very long code, but in Azure machine learning it's just drag and drop. Okay, that's what in Azure, it will provide many services. It's a most powerful domain in entire Azure. As AI plus machine learning is the more powerful domain. Okay, so which you can utilize it. And identity domain. I think the name itself there, and the icon itself will gives you a clear cut explanation. What is this domain deals with? Any idea? What is this domain deals with? Exactly, authentication. Okay, and it will store all the metadata credentials of the users. Okay, and it will provide the authentication for the specific users. Okay, suppose if I am the user, okay, they will be providing the authentication, because since I works in the big data domain, so they will be giving the access only for the storage and database analytics. Okay, only I'm having the access to these two domains. I won't have the access to Asia, artificial intelligence and machine learning. But my other teammates who are working as a data scientist, they can access artificial intelligence and machine learning, as well as file storage and database. Why? Because a data scientist must know about big data as well as machine learning. Metadata credentials, it will be available under identity, sir, in the form of Azure Active Directory. Okay, sir, Azure Active Directory. So this identity domain will maintain the metadata credentials of the users. That will be maintained through Azure Active Directory. Clear, sir? Okay, so this comes under identity management. It's completely deals with the metadata credentials for the users and the authentication for the specific users. Okay. Clear, Sachimurthy sir? Any other queries regarding this identity management? Okay. Thank you, sir. So, and management, okay, so management is nothing but it will include all the services such as monitoring, infrastructure as a code, all those things, okay. All those things it will take care into the account, okay. So these are all the services, okay, which will be provided by the Azure Azure domains, okay. Just a moment. Okay, so these are all the virtual machines, okay. First thing, virtual machine, okay. So this is the most important thing. It is nothing but, what is a virtual machine? Just tell me, what is meant by virtual machine? Any idea what is meant by virtual machine? Is nothing but a laptop. Yes, exactly, sir. It's a voice plus memory. Exactly, sir. Is nothing but our laptop, but okay, we are using our laptop remotely. That is called virtual machine. Okay, so it's nothing but a computer, or it's just like a laptop which has installed Windows on it, and nothing will be there other than that. Okay, it's just a fresh machine. It will have only Windows installed on it. Virtual machine resource in Azure means it's nothing but a computer or a laptop which have Windows, or which have Windows on it, and you don't have any other software present in that. These are all the machines which are provided by the cloud providers. In 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 our case, who is the cloud provider? Azure or Microsoft, okay. So what will happen? They will launch the laptop for you, and they will give the remote access for you. So what you are going to do, it's basically like working on a own laptop and working in remote location. Let us take, you are working in India, and suppose it's like you are working in your home, but your laptop is present in the other location, but you are working in that particular laptop virtually, in the sense remote, okay. So that is nothing but virtual machine, okay. Ubuntu OS is available, the system, right, which I have created. You can see here. This is what the virtual machine which I have created. Ubuntu OS. It's a Ubuntu OS. Yeah, this is what I created. Okay, you can create. I will show you. Maybe in the next class, I will show you how to create a virtual machine with Ubuntu OS, and how to launch a website using this virtual machine. I will show you. Okay. Okay, ma'am. Yeah. Just a moment. Okay, so this is nothing but virtual machine. What is virtual machine? It's nothing but, because guys, why I'm telling this, right? Even the people who are working in an organization in IT industry, which is having more than 5+ years also, they don't know what is meant by virtual machine. They will tell daily, I'm working on VM, I'm working on VM. What is VM means? No, they don't know. They will tell like it's a service. Okay, it's a service. Even there are people who are 10+ years of experience in what you say, IT industry, who don't know what is meant by virtual machine, but daily they will be working on virtual machines. So why I'm telling this now? Before working on anything, just learn what about that. Why? Because that will help you to grow in that particular field. Okay, suddenly sometimes in my previous company, one issue came. Okay, once I am working in that particular a critical issue. Okay, suddenly my director, the particular Walmart particular project associate director came, and he asked only one thing. We are having a virtual machine working on that. He just asked, what is meant by virtual machine? You know, it's a kind of it's a question that was, I was just 2.5 years experience that point of time. He just asked it, and just what is meant by virtual machine? That's what I told. It's a virtual machine is like a computer, so Windows install. I told that. Oh, okay, good, like that. So, okay, because I don't know whether he knows that and he asked me, or whether he don't know, because that's what I'm telling. So these are all the terminologies which will help you to grow in the field. Okay, so virtual machine, we will ask you, virtual machine has been allocated for you. Okay, so in the sense, it's a kind of virtual environment which you will be working on the client side. Clear? So this is very important. Okay, virtual machine, that's I'm telling again. Okay, so the thing is, if you are launching a virtual machine in Azure, you will get the machine in Azure which is freshly made with fresh operating system on it, with no other softwares installed on it. Okay, with no softwares installed on it. You will be using for, and you can use this virtual machine for deploying applications. That's the reason we will call it as a server. Okay, hence There are servers launched by Azure for your own personal use, but you would be accessing it remotely in Windows machine, and even you can use RDP into it. Okay, and if it's a Linux machine, you can use SSH. Okay, so now I will be showing you, maybe tomorrow I will be showing you how to do the SSH of a particular Linux machine. Okay, maybe on Monday I will be showing you. Okay, but the thing is, there will be no softwares installed on that particular machine. Anything if you want to do anything, you need to download that, or you need to take the help of the services to do that. Okay, clear? Yeah, Ubuntu Linux, sir. This is what the machine which I created. This is with Ubuntu Linux. Okay, let us see. Let's check whether I have Hive in the Hive framework in it or not. No, I don't have Hive. Okay, I don't have Hive. Just use Spark. I don't have Spark. It's a freshly made machine. Okay, it's a fresh made machine. Okay, the thing is, it's only having Windows. It is only having Linux on it, or Linux OS on it. Okay, so if you want to do anything, you can try to download it. Okay, you can try to download it using Mirror's website. You can try to download all the softwares and you can start using it. It's like a laptop, but it is your laptop is not there with you. It is there in the virtual, and where it is present, it is present in the Microsoft data center. Clear? Understood, everyone? What is meant by virtual machine? Okay, so it's nothing but it's a simple laptop which Microsoft Azure has given to you for your personal use. As simple as that. Okay, so that is what virtual machine. And okay, any questions in this virtual machine? I hope it is very simple and it is very clear. Okay, and now what is meant by function app? Guys, this mostly no one will be using this for function app, but you can just see what is this function app. Okay, so function app is an advanced version of virtual machine in which you won't get the access of the operating system. Okay, function app, it's a nothing but it's advanced version of virtual machine, but you won't get the access. GUI, yeah, GUI is already available, sir, in the form of portal.com. Yeah, through what means Azure portal, we can able to create the virtual machine. I will show you, sir. Tomorrow I will show you how we can create virtual machine. It's simple. Okay, I will show you step by step. Even you can the people can try it. They can create the virtual machines and they can deploying in any environments. Okay, I will show you that. Okay. So, and what is the function app? It's an advanced version of virtual machine in which you won't get the access to OS. Example, let us take an example. I will show you, I will tell you an example. You are working on a website, okay, and that website will be processing. I will be that website, what it is doing, it is doing the image processing for you. For example, you are on a Facebook and you want to upload a profile picture. So in that Facebook you have a picture, and what you need to do, you need to crop the your picture from that particular photo, and you need to keep that cropped picture as a profile pic for your Facebook. So this is what the process you need to do. Okay, so do you think who will be doing this? In any particular site, you will have something called as backend servers. Okay, so Facebook will have web servers in place. Okay, for processing the data, it's nothing but we have nothing but for processing we have something called as a web server. For storing the data, we have database server. For doing the backend process, we have something called as backend servers. And you can see, suppose if you take Facebook, right, hundreds of users will be uploading the pictures. So what the backend server will do, it will take care of the image processing, and the front end server, which is the web server, will be serving the website to the user. Okay, so there are two tasks happening over there. What is that? Function app will do the first thing. There is a front end server and there is a back end server. Those are all the two tasks. Okay, so what this function app is nothing but a back end service. Okay, so you don't have to deal with operating system. It will just give you the access to the dashboard. You can upload the code, it will do it for you. So it's a kind of a dashboard. Okay, so what it is there, if you want to do particular work, just upload the code, that's it. But you won't get access to the operating system. What you can do, only you can give the input to it, it will do the output. Okay, so what kind of service, guys? This is platform as a service. Okay, what and all you can do with function app means you need to give the code to the particular dashboard. Okay, and everything will be taken care by the function app. It will do the process and it will give you the output. Okay, and this comes under platform as a service. Okay, what you are giving, only code you are giving, rest of the things Azure will take care. What is virtual machine? Is nothing but infrastructure as a service. Okay, why? Because in that virtual machine you are utilizing the, you will have the access to operating system, but in function app you won't have the access to the operating system. What you will be having the access, only the input you can give it, and that input will take it, and Azure will create the, will do the work for you. Okay, so in, again, in function app you just need to choose the environment where you can run the code, and that's it. Everything function app will take care. Clear? Understood? So function app is nothing but only platform as a service. If you know what you want to do, just give the code to it, everything it will take care. Okay, rest of the things, everything it will, if you are having a Python code, if you want to run a Python application, just give code to it, everything it will create and it will do it for you. You don't have OS, what you say, like access to that particular function app. Okay, anyway we will see that, anyway you will come to know. It's a kind of function. You can see the logo, it's a kind of lightning speed. Okay, so everything it will take care by its end. Understood everyone what is meant by function app? Just a moment, sorry. Okay, so this is what about function app, and not yet the other thing we will see, app service. So it is another platform as a service. It is similarly to the function app. Okay, so it is looks similarly to function app. Okay, but this app will give outputs, because what is the thing means. So what you can do with these app services is, you can launch or deploy your websites. Okay, function app cannot deploy your web applications. Okay, if you want to deploy the web application, you want to use the app service. Okay, if you want to deploy your web application, if you want to deploy your web application, then function app is not possible, it will not serve you. It, app service will help you to do that. Okay, in app service you will have, you will find a resource called web app, and you have to deploy that on that, so that it will be there in the dashboard. Okay, so once that is done, it will get linked to it, and you will be getting a link, so that if you click that link, your particular website will be launched. Okay, here also you won't get access to the website, sorry, operating system, OS. Okay, so function app only does the backend tasks for you. Only thing is, you will be giving the code, it will take the input and it will give the output. It is not used to deploy the application, but app service on the other hand, it will use it to deploy your applications. Okay, it will use it to deploy your application. So what is the difference between app service means, app service won't deploy, see, function app won't deploy your application, but app service will deploy your application. Okay, clear everyone? Understood? Okay, so another thing which is the, guys, which is the most important service which entire business market everyone is utilizing, what is that? Heard about this service, guys? Everyone, I think someone might have heard about this, Azure Kubernetes service. Okay, Azure Kubernetes service, the most important service if you are working on a containerized environment. Okay, so guys, anyone heard about Docker? What is it, Docker? Anyone? DevOps related, yes, exactly. It's a DevOps related. Okay, so Docker. So Docker is nothing but a containerized platform which you can deploy your application. Each and every container will work as a application, one application. Okay, so it's a very big, yeah, it's a container, exactly. Okay, so we are discussing what and all. Now we are doing is, we are having huge amounts of application, huge amounts of data. How we are processing that? By using a distributed environment. So if you are using, if you are putting your data in a distributed environment, what you are doing, you are using distributed computing. So here you are using containers. Containers will act as a separate virtual entities which are isolated from each other. Okay, which are isolated from each other means, you can launch a Ubuntu container, At the same time, you can launch a CentOS container. Yeah, microservices. Exactly, sir. You can launch a different flavor of Linux container. Whatever code you want, you can put that on those containers, and these containers will interact with each other and start doing the computing. Okay. And what Kubernetes will do, again, I will repeat it. Each container will act as a separate virtual entities. Like you can launch a Ubuntu container, it is having Ubuntu OS in it. You can launch a CentOS container, you have CentOS in it. You can launch a different flavor of Linux container, even that will have. So we have launched three different containers, and whatever code you keep on these three containers, they will interact with each other and they will start doing the computing. Okay. And one more thing, Kubernetes will manage all these containers. It's an automated service. Let us assume, guys, this is the example which is useful for most of you. Why we are going for Kubernetes? So I have deployed three containers. Okay. One is my website container, one is my backend container, and one is my database container. So for some reason, my backend container is not working. It stopped working. So whenever my backend server stops working, we will get an alert. So we can see what is the problem and we will fix it, and then backend server will run normally. But in order to do all these things, you need to monitor the application 24 bar 7. Suppose, let us assume this particular error came at morning 3 o'clock. There may be a chance of missing that particular error. So in that case, what this Kubernetes will do is it will do all the manual tasks for you. What it will see, it will automatically detect there is a fault. Okay. And what it will do, it will directly delete that container and it will launches a new copy of it automatically. Okay. And the data redundancy will be there. It is one of the tasks which Kubernetes does for you, and all the industries will use the Kubernetes only for this, majorly for this. Okay. Most of the startups has made their code to fit into the containers, and they are using this Kubernetes service. Okay. So actually that was developed by Google company. Later they made it as a open source so that you can able to download and you can able to monitor it by yourself. Clear, everyone? What is exactly meant by Kubernetes service? Okay. So it is very important service, guys, which is, I think, mostly if anyone who is working in environment, right, they will come to know all these things. Okay. Because it is the mostly used Kubernetes service. Okay. For security purposes it will be using. Okay. So what is this in the sense? I will repeat it, sir, again. So what this Kubernetes will do means, let us assume it's a you have something called as three servers. I told you, right? Three containers. Okay, one is a backend container, one is a website container, one is a database container. So what will happen if any some problem comes, and if any problem comes in the backend service container, right? So an alert will be coming to you. So once the alert comes, we will the support team will comes into the picture, and they will what is a resolve that particular error, and they will make sure the backend server is running again. But this will take some time and it requires manual effort. So now what Kubernetes is, everything is automated. So what it will do, it will keep on monitoring the particular services. Okay. So if any service is down, automatically it will go and check in which container the service is down. That particular container will be deleted and a new copy of the another container will be launched. Okay. And it will be running in place of the faulted container. So this is how your services will be available continuously in your project. Okay. That's where your Kubernetes comes into picture. Okay. It's nothing but it will have an individual containers will be placed individually, and they will be interacting with each other for performing the certain task. Okay. So that will be helpful here. Yes, sir. It's 24 bar 7 in the, yes, 24 bar 7. It's automatic. It will keep on running. It will be always, the services will be keep on running. Yeah. Clear, everyone? Compute services. Okay. So these are all the services which is nothing but our compute services, guys. Okay. So this will end our compute domain. So so maybe on Monday I will start this networking services. Okay. So before going to that, I will show you how to launch a virtual machine and how to deploy a website in your virtual machine. Okay. Yeah, all services written 24 bar 7. Exactly, sir. Yeah, it will be done. until your cluster is up and running, these services will be always running. Simple. Exactly. Okay. So on the next of the domains, we will see it in the next sessions. Okay. I hope, I think today's session is clear to everyone. Okay. So any doubts, please go through it and just get back to me. I will explain you the remaining things. Okay. Uh, is that clear, sir, to everyone? Fine, right? Yeah. Yes, sir. So thank you, sir, and have a great day. Maybe tomorrow is a Sunday, right? So take a good rest, and we will meet on Monday, sir. Okay. So any doubts, you have my mail ID. You can contact me at any point of time so that I can try to answer your questions. Okay, as soon as possible. Thank you, everyone. Thanks.